With the war in the Middle East disrupting supply chains, Timorese families are facing increasing household expenses from the petrol pump to the grocery store. In her final discussion with RTTL World News reporter Vicky Madeira, Senior World Bank economist Amina Coulibaly outlines what the government can do to soften the impact of the conflict on everyday Timorese citizens.
We've seen oil prices spike because of the conflict in the Middle East. EU report notes that Timor-Leste is very sensitive to these global shocks. How can we protect the purchasing power of Timorese families if these conflicts keep pushing up the price of fuel and basic needs?
In terms of the recommendation for us, it's really how to target vulnerable households. So while you are supporting the household and the country, you have really to have targeted support to people that are vulnerable to that, so better targeting. The second is how to strengthen domestic production. So any reform that will boost production on agriculture, for example, on tourism, on fisheries, will also help the country to be to be maybe less dependent to import, but also rely on domestic production. The third point is continue doing diversification. Doing diversification help also to the country to mitigate any external shock. And the last point, and this is really timely, and this is what the report is saying, is compliance with ASEAN framework, ASEAN commitment that will give access to regional markets and also diversify trading partners, and this also help to mitigate the shock. So these are some of the recommendations that we are providing to the country.
We also have seen that the government set a price cap for fuel to cushion the blow of the Middle East conflict. From World Bank perspective, is this kind of subsidy sustainable, or are we just draining the petroleum fund faster to solve a short-term problem?
Currently, I know government is running the numbers to see what will be the fiscal cost for the crisis. But first, I think when we have this kind of crisis is to ensure that everyone can have his own activity, so fuel security is the first. So this is really important step. The second is to think about what could be potential measure, and having temporary price cap is a step, but now it's really to look into it to see, is it well targeted? Am I targeting the most vulnerable population? Should I work on the targeting? So what we are recommending is to have targeted temporary support. So looking at the data to make sure that people that are really benefiting from the subsidies are the poor.
So the report mentions that Timor-Leste is now officially in a post-oil phase. In the past, high global oil prices and might have meant more revenue for us, but now it just means higher cost for fuel and food. So how dangerous is this shift for our national budget?
The message for us is how to diversify the economy. Even that you have oil, even you have the petroleum fund, you really have to diversify the economy to also help to smooth any external shock or even domestic shock that may come. So this is why we are working on with the government, and I know that other donors are working to strengthen domestic production on some sector, to also be less dependent to public sector, but have more private sector.
The World Bank often says the private sector should be the engine of the economy, but public spending is still the main driver here. So what is the biggest barrier stopping a Timorese entrepreneur from starting a business today?
Private sector are facing some constraint, and the World Bank Business Ready report highlights 4 things. The first is predictability, having clear and transparent rule so I can plan ahead as investor. In terms of the process, how to have quick business creation system or rule. And also the third point is access to land. Land administration is key. And we are, SMEs are facing land issue. And the fourth one is access to finances. So any reform that will help SMEs to access to finances, to targeted program, and also private sector to access to finances will help to boost private sector development.
Thank you very much for talking with RTTL News.
Thank you.